Hello. How are you? How are you?
I am well.
You are well.
Yeah.
That's a good start. We are well.
I
You
have
guys,
put
I'm
my
talking. So
understanding of how
please
this thing
make a
is
move now,
supposed
guys.
to go.
Don't close it more. Okay, I'm now in
Yeah.
a big show.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mawere, and good evening, Australia. Baby,
All right.
thank you.
I got Wimbai as well. Wimbai, this is about leadership and what we're discussing. Do you have 30 minutes just to join us?
Hello, Mr. Mawere.
Asking me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking to someone. Sorry.
Yeah. Can I send you a link?
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. So let's go, I think, getting deeper on the issue of leadership. What is your understanding of leadership?
Hello, thank you very much, Mr. Mawere. Before I answer your question, I would like to introduce myself as Prophet Mukoma Masimba. I am now a prophet. Now, I'll
All
answer
right.
your question. As a prophet of Zimbabwe, my answer to leadership. Leadership is a title, it's not individual. There is a statement I quote, leaders are born. I disagree with that. No one is born a leader. No one is born a leader. So leadership is just a title. It's a position in an organized system. Example, in a democratic country, a president, it's an office. So that office needs someone, that person in the office becomes the leader. Once he leaves, someone else will come. So there's nothing called leadership or leaders are born or we create leaders. There's nothing like that.
Are you a leader?
Yes, I am a leader.
What makes you a leader?
I have a purpose. I'm leading Zimbabwe. I'm saving Zimbabwe from the crisis. That makes me a leader.
All right. So you are suggesting that this person called a leader exists.
Now, yes, it exists.
All right. In what form does that person exist?
Remember, leadership, again, I said it's a title, or it's an office, or it's a position. Then I, as a person, I now fit in the office of Go Deeper as the leader of Go Deeper movement, which is prophetic. No wonder why I'm saying to you, I'm now prophet, Mukoma Masimba.
All right. Hello, Imbai. Imbai, we are in a group.
Yeah.
Called On a Radio Station. And that is what Mukuma Masimba has been pushing as well. And in that group, an issue arose this morning.
Yeah.
About mentorship.
Yeah.
And behind that issue is finger pointing. That for 4 months, Rimbai has failed, refused, and neglected to lead the mentorship program under C2C. Is that correct?
From what I have read, yes. But when we started, or at least when I joined in, is it like the mentorship program started on the base of me asking you to say, people, when I came to you, if you remember the first conversation I had with you, we can bring it up. To say, I said, you know what, let's see if I can find that conversation. It will answer how this mentorship came about.
In fact, we have Mukoma Masimba. He is now saying he's a prophet. Do you Have you followed him?
Not yet.
Would
Though
you
I
call
am
him
reading book Rebens, I'm following book Rebens.
from Book
Thank you.
Rebens? Is it a mentorship book or it's a book to promote himself?
You know, it can work both ways, because at the end of the day, if we look at what he is advocating for, it steers one to thinking, like really thinking properly. Because if we look at it, we can start by saying, if we use Mukoma Masimba, I'm going to use you as an example in this case. When I spoke to you, before I spoke to you, I heard Mukoma Masimba akupenga, akugara muroad, destitute, aka-abuse, whatever. And people were saying what they were saying. When I go to talk to you, imi makati, my sister, inini ndiri kurecover from depression, and ndiri kurecover from from substance abuse. Mukati mimi manga muri kumwa doro nechi. I can't remember the second thing chamakataura. I think it was marijuana or something like that. I can't remember properly. But pane chinhu tu zvamakataura. Mukati asi ndiri kunyora book Rebens. That's what I am doing. That's you saying what you are saying zvamuri kuita. But if we look further now, kuti we have had cases, because ndatomboita a few cases with you on this show. We have people who now know what you need. Imi muri kutaura ndoda kuti mumboteerera. Listen, ndiri kuti chi, ndini ndiri kukuudzai zvandiri kutaura. But we are all coming in with what should happen to you, what is it that you need. We know better. But imi muri kuti aiwa, imbomirai, tarisai kuti ndiri kuti chi, look at things deeper. At least that's what I've taken from Book Rebens and what you have been saying. Coming back kunyaya mentorship, like I said, tinoteerera vanhu takawanda from different aspects. Ini ndakangotera ndakakudzai mawere kuti inini I had heard kuti kune munhu anonzi Mutumwa Mawere akatorerwa mabusiness ake, akatorerwa zvinhu zvake zvikarasika. I heard that being said. Ndikatombogugula ndega at one point or the other for whatever reason. And when I started talking to you, now ndakutaura nemimi as a person, muchiti vimbai ndini, ndikandombokuti kwava Mawere chimbondiudzai kuti nyaya yachona zvakafamba sei. Mukatonditi imimi, aiwa, inini I'm not going to tell you that. Kowadi kumbobvunza Mukoma Masimba kuti what exactly happened. And which brings us back again kunyaya yekuti chi, dig deeper. Musangoti zvamunenge manzwa zvanyorwa naningi, zvataurwa naningi, ndova nani. Which is already part of a mentorship program. Yokuti chi, kana ukanzwa zvawanzwa, azvireve kuti ndo chaizvo. Nyatsotarisa, check your facts, umwe noumwe wedu achizvitarisira ega kuti chi, zvandanzwa ndizvo here. Saka inini, aiwa iwo, mimi, alright, let me keep quiet. Ndisati ndakomenda makoments amwana. Saka inini kupinda kwandakaitaka kumentorship, ndakatopinda ndichitongobvunzwa Mawere, naye Mawere, kwaita vanhu. In fact, inini ndakatouya ndichiti kunogona kumuka ma-business opportunities. That's why I followed. Ndakangoona link yekuti on a radio. I followed that link ndikati kunogona kunomuka business opportunities that will benefit me as an individual. And zvadaro, pandanda kuverenga hangu macomments evamwe vanhu vakabvunza kuti ko kune mentorship, tikuda mentorship. Ndikati Mawere, ko vanhu vari kubvunza kuti mentorship program, mune mentorship program here yamuri kuita, muri kutora vanhu here? Mawere vakati kwewe uri uchitaurira vamwe uchiti wi. Wadi kuti inini Mawere ndauyewo mugroup, ndiri kuda mentorship program. Ndoda kudzidza kuti zvinofamba sei. Ndoda kuona to improve myself for myself. Because individuals tiri vanhu vari vaneka selfishness, tinofunga about ourselves. That's how this mentorship program started. Kuti ngatichiona itu zvataungana, inini ndiri kuda kuita mining, umwe ari kuda kuita umwe ari kuda kuita, but we are individuals vasinei with each other. Can we not get to know each other first? Tadaro tozoona kuti vari kuda vanenge vaita program yakafanana, vari kuda kuita zvakati, vari kuda kuita zvakafanana, vozoenda mberi vega. Asi tatanga taita a community. This is what I understood and how I got to be where I am now. Saka zvekuti Vimbai ndiye anofanirwa kuita the leader we-mentorship ega, it's...
All
okay,
right.
Vimbai. Mr. Mawere, can I chip in, please?
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Vimbai. You were asking a simple question. right, from Mr. Mawere. This question was about your WhatsApp group that you are a member, and there's an issue about administration, right? And your name has been mentioned. So you haven't actually answered that question. We're gonna come back there because there's a problem in that group, and I'm glad you are here. Then number two, you went on to talk about Pokrebins, how you got to know me. You started to follow Pokrebins. Then you mentioned me, you identified me as your mentor. I want to say thank you very much. So as your mentor, that means you're my mentee now, right? So I'm not happy with the way you are answering questions. You know why, Bimbai? These were simple questions. You have got the answer, but you are not structured. How about this? How about this? Let me finish. And I'm times a communication skill again. I'm testing you.
I know.
Remember,
Yeah.
I'm a mentor, right? That's what you said. Remember, how about this? Number one, Mr. Mawere, WhatsApp group. Number two, when you start to put in numbers, your point will come out. That answer, call it a group mistake. Remember, this book will go deeper, right? This is my book, my show. But this show right now, dear Mr. Mawere, he starts his show at 1 p.m. I had to negotiate with him to feature at his shows, right? Because the friendship here get the same platform. So I do my own show. Bogre means he's doing his own show. So I got to negotiate to come here just to answer with Antina because Mr. Mawere, I told you are my mentor. I identify as a mentor. Then I said I want to show you what I've learned. So I'm showing Mawere what I've learned. Since you told me I'm your mentor. So I'm showing Mr. Mawere what I learned from Mawere. You won't even buy. But this is short and sharp. So that shows much. Mawere akandifundisa sezwe. Ndafundisa iwewe. And that was chengeta ndeka. You see? So Bogre is really very broad one of them. But I'll fit in your switch of Jago, yes. If you come deeper, I go more deeper. If you come Izalo, I do Izalo. So anyway, that's my answer to you. Mr. Mawere, that's my presentation. It's Bogre at your show.
All right.
Mr. No, you know why I have said I know ndataura zvakawandisa in a very short time ka. I wanted to lay the background first kuti zvakatangira kupi nokuti pataurwa conversation iyi kandaverengwa kuti Vimbai arimo ari kumisa group. So I had to put that clarification takatangira kupi. Where are we? How did we get where we are? Then we take it further. And it kuti tiri kuenda kupi, like you are saying kuti mauya makutaura nyaya yebhuku rebenzi muC2C, you have made the initiative. Saka hazvisi kureva kuti vanhu vamiswa, vanhu vastopewa kuita anything, but kuri kunzi vanhu ngavaite ma-initiative and use this C2C as a community to start from. At least that's my understanding.
Okay, I think there is an issue that he has asked specifically as to the group.
Okay, maybe say it again.
There is a group, a WhatsApp group, where we are trying to improve content on radio and as part of mentorship, so that we broaden the mentor base. Because there are many people who believe that mentors are free. And therefore, I can go one after another, one-on-one. So from the group, there is finger pointing that you should be the leader. And what have you got to show for it? And by go ahead with it, other people may perceive that to say, I have chosen you. And against them. So it's now favoritism. So we want to see how far Mawere goes with the people he trusts.
Okay.
So that's part of community building.
Yeah.
And if you see Mkwama Simbaneni, Mawere is trying to steal Mkwama Masimba's followers.
Okay.
But you have been in the group for some time. How many conversations have been shared with you where people want to be mentored, they want to learn?
Mm.
Can
Quite a
you
number.
write it
Honestly,
down?
quite a number. That's what is it. Like I said, my first initial question to you was, say there are many people who are asking for mentorship. Are you taking people for mentorship? That's how I came to your inbox and asked that there are people who are following you for whatever reasons. They want to learn.
Okay,
And
Vimbai.
you said, I'm
Okay, Vimbai.
because the leaders are
Okay,
within us.
Vimbai.
Eh,
Vimbai, let me help you, my darling. Let
all
me
right.
help you to understand. Okay?
Uh,
Listen carefully. Remember, I told you, Vimbai,
mm,
I'm now a prophet.
okay.
So the answer I'm gonna give you is prophetic.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what Mr. Mawere is telling you here. Simba is telling me, Mama Were, you are my mentor.
Uh-huh.
That shows there are lots of people out there I've mentored. And
Mm-hmm.
there are lots of people again who wants to be mentored by me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have only 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he's teaching a lesson which I learned from him. He's simply saying,
Mm-hmm.
if you are organized, you can get a chance
Mm-hmm.
as my mentee because you want me to be your mentor. But you can
Mm-hmm.
only catch me through organized structures.
Mm-hmm.
Example, Mr. Mawere
Mm-hmm.
has been running his TV show for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
because most people ignored or they don't want his content, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there are many people who want him to be a mentor. So
Mm-hmm.
I, as Mkwama Masimba, as a student, look what I did now. Number one, I want to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This book, the first person I spoke about this book is Mr. Mawere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At that time, ndakandiripa drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So Mawere akati ndakada kuignore mfana uyu nezvaari hazvingaiti ndikandikovarirwa wangu naye anofarira Facebook yake ndokovarirwa wangu naye ndichiita sechimonita kuti arikuita sei, but I can't stop him from his choices. Saka he played his role. Okay, you identified me as a mentor, I'll give you that ear and time. Ndakawana that time. Then from there, then I started to write this book. Ndichivataura zvandaifunga vachindidzora using his experience now. So in this book,
Yeah.
I'm learn, I unlearn, and learn again. Listen is going. So at this stage, ndatoya kwavari kuti ndaaprophet. Now ndakutovatsanangurira zvavari kutaura kuti iwo zvinzwisisewo. Saka iwewe now, one access ye one on one amawere. You know how? Because iwewe chokutanga wakabhadhara $30 yako yebhuku rebedzi. Number two, tasangana pano ini handambozoti kuya panapa. Ini because ndakatoti amawere, I'm going to join your show. So he planned his show the way he planned his show. So he invited you. Ndiri panapa ndatokuonawo manje manje. He's trying to explain something to you. But now I'm showing amawere that Mdara, you still need book readings on your show. Ndakuti simplify zvakutaura kune mwana uyu. Because uyu mwana uyu andiri mentor yake. Akukwanisa kukunzwisisa. Saka iwewe the more ucharamba uri panapa, mentorship yako nayo. Because uri kuwana through a need. Inonzi your value for value. Wawana value, right? Saka wawe pano uri book readings. Kana ndiri pano wapinda chete. You can still organize your work na Mawere, but remember how many people are trying to look for him. Mawere tells you to tanga show na 1 o'clock. Right? Many people are going to come, but Mawere will say no. Pani slow chekutanga yakabhuka nebook rebens. Saka for Mawere to give you that chance to talk to him here, you have to meet standard book rebens. You have to also add value to his show. Saka takabata ndizo so far. You get it? Anyway, Mawere, I don't know. Try to summarize with him.
No, yeah, I think you have understood what he's saying. That and Mercy has also helped. Who is to lead what? Lead who? Lead where? And we are saying, let's provoke a conversation on leadership. That if Mkwama Masimba plays his part, you play your part. And who led you, Vimbai, to be on this show? Is there anyone who led you?
Not really. Is it? It came from me talking to you and, like with the conversation in mentorship. That's how I got here. Because I've been engaging with you.
You called me not knowing that there was a show.
No, I didn't know there was a show.
That's right. So awareness was not there.
Mm-mm.
So you were not part of this show.
Mm-mm.
But some people think it was organized.
Mm-mm.
No.
Probably
Then say,
spontaneous guys. Do you have time? And then we are
I,
here now.
I asked you in that conversation
Mm,
whether you would want to join us, whether you are free
mm,
to join us.
mm.
And what did you say?
Yeah, sure.
You said sure. So that's
Mm,
consent.
mm,
So you agreed to be here and presented yourself here.
mm,
And nobody is forcing you to talk.
mm.
So that's again the choice. Even after you have arrived in a WhatsApp group, some people choose to say nothing.
Mm, mm, mm,
Then others choose to lead them
mm,
and talk on their behalf
mm,
without respecting that your view is your view. Somebody would say, Mawere, why should I be part of this platform when there are no viewers? There are three views. When it's Mawere's three views. So Mkoma Masimba, why do you need to be on Mawere's platform? Isn't that a lesson?
mm.
Eh? There are people right now who are going inboxing Mkoma Masimba to say, why are you surrendering yourself to Mawere's project? And why should I pay anyway?
Mm.
When I can get free education, free this, why do I need a government anyway? So these are the lessons that you are learning from Mkoma Masimba choosing to write a book. Because what we are discussing here, we are exporting what is in a WhatsApp group, which will die there
Mm,
to the mainstream.
mm.
So are you learning something from Bukure Benzi?
Definitely. It's interesting. You know, like I said before, when you hear things being said and then you hear it from the horse's mouth, it gives a chance to say, you know what, if it's like, if in my case, then to say like, okay, what is it that I'm picking from this?
All right.
Number one.
Yeah.
You are now a celebrity. Or no celebrity. I'm telling you.
Don't even go there.
Celebrity. You are prophet, first there are prophet. Wapita kwa show events. Where's what I was achieving? But you guys what I could choose. Right? Now number two, number two, you're saying that it's something. I want you to help me in your own words. Right? Remember, our partner is a wrong answer. It's something wrong for Mr. Boy. Speak your mind in your own words. What is my relationship with Bukure Benz? Na Mawere, ne 1873. Those are three things. Mr. Mawere, Mkoma Masimba, 1873. Then Mawere show, I'm talking show again 1 p.m. Mkoma Masimba wapinde papa. About 1873. What is your understanding? You are pinned off, you are to pin no padramari. Saka Maria wapadara I da utunzwi so Maria kweli kushandira here or what? So I'm asking you a question. What do you think? What is going on here in your own words?
It will seem so unfair for others. Like I said, I told you where I to say and why I've been there. If I tell you the kind of people that I've met, like you are one of them, but because I've been on the C2C platform, I'm now talking to you. And I've met vamwe vanhu kuti chika, we are actually working towards kuti tikatanga tarongana se-C2C, there will be business opportunities for people. And we are talking nyaya cryptocurrency nezuro. If you saw show ya nezuro, I've been hearing kuti kune ma-cryptocurrencies, but because ndiri mune this platform, vanhu vari kuuya kuna Mawere, Tamawere ndine product yangu yakadai iyi, I want it to get into people. Vimbai has the privilege yokuya kuzoitesta whether it works or it doesn't work. What is my view on that? Whether ndichazoiteverera and expand on it, it's something else. I see the fact yokuti I am within this proximity, ndiri kusangana nezvakawanda, ndiri kudzidza zvakawanda. You know, inini I'm one person anoti chika. Okay, another example. Takataura nyaya inonzi chiyeye kuti kune mushonga wawanikwa unogona kurapa COVID handiti. Inini ndakatoutesta kunoku. I bought it, yakauya. But how did I get that? It's because I am in this group. Rine vanhu vanoti, you know what, we want to build a community. And zvataakuzivana Mukoma Masimba. Mirai, wait, Mukoma Masimba. What I'm saying is, same mapindura andiri kuita. Anti muri kuona mataura 1873. Until I joined, joined the radio station, I didn't know there was that. Murukona nyaya yacho. Ndikabva ndaziva kuti kwaane C2C. Since then, ndakuziva zvimwe zviripo zviri kuitika. But it's because I am willing to get involved. I am taking my time. Ndichipinda ndichitarisa kuti zvinhu zviripo, which is beneficial for me.
Okay. Chimene mudamdana. Mr. Mawere.
Yeah.
I want you to see this picture and keep on up. Today, the first argument that I get when I told you I'm fighting for Zimbabweans. There's nothing for the Zimbabwean. So along the way now, on the Facebook, Mr. Mawere, I made my mistakes. Digital fighting for Zimbabweans, right? Then I realized mistake and later. My goodness, when I was on later, that's the day my mother cried. Then I found importance of my man.
Hello?
Anzi question was, how is Masimba connected to Mawere and Bukrebens and C2C?
Sorry, right. Sorry, Mr. Mawere.
Yeah.
So now, Mr. Mawere, then I answered myself that question. Did Mr. Mawere? Yes, there's nothing called a Zimbabwe. But what have I done? So I'm now writing a book now on what I've learned. So my book, in a jargon, Zimbabwe. Yes, Simba is Zimbabwe. In a jargon, Simba, who learned there's nothing called a Zimbabwe. So I'm aware more. Saka makatera the way I know right? That's exactly what I was before. That's exactly. But through your mentorship now, I've learned what I am. So in the two structures, go deeper. Initially is Zalo. Initially go deeper. So I had two shows up. The go deeper I'm aware show. It's a dedication to your mentorship, right? That's when I shared with them go deeper. The Zalo side now, that is the crazy side, Yangos on Tampa song. So those two shows, na zibalance the same, but some programs, right? So the program is not new. It is still the same guy. I'm just living my life. But I want to go to my mother to show her the purpose of your life. You're going to bury her. Mama. I was fighting for Zimbabwe. So when I look up my steps that I found on my way back to my mother, but my lessons I can wonder. Example, this sister of mine here, right? Bimbai. Tamukunza is simple question. What do you mean by? Akabadra Mariaki. Shaka Badra Mariaki asked which is Ziba. But I can go back.
I do. No, I do. I do.
Wait. So, Saka, imimi now, Pama lessons that I had before Palopa TV. I want to access, you come repeat Sakari, using me as an example. Now, Bimbai, when I know later, is it Bimbai when did man? I talk show the Zimbabwean side and look at so that to solve that issue with Army Zimbabwean. Because remember, I'm fighting for Zimbabweans as well. I know there's nothing called Zimbabwe, but it's too deeper for them. So now I get it, profit, our guide. Then Pacha Zara Mawere, that's up to you, Mawere. In fact, Bogre is that Zara, then I will buy. Taka Botra Pasa Sabina Pari will buy. Sabina Kapatanza. So now for my budget. Sakana Bogre Benzuko. Saka don't waste your time, Mawere. Taka try Sabina, Nakampa fair chance, teach out a Bonyara. Akapatanza. Samaita, you can always come anytime you had. Saka Nas spin by Nasamaita Chet Tasara, Bogre Bins. wamawere atakuzotora nini kana mungada kwaedha palive wamawere kana asingabhadhara $30 zebhuku rebenzi mune handanga yokutaura naye because bhuku rebenzi tasara.
So I think there is a question that was asked by Mercy that she says the question also was the connection between Masimba and C2C and Mawere in 1873.
Yes, always.
Let's start with the connection between the radio and Mkoma Masimba.
Okay, I'm not fit up to reply to that one. May you explain it yourselves?
Before, there was a Facebook.
Okay, listen, Wimbai.
And Mkoma Masimba wrote on my wall inquiring as to how I had acquired SMM. I responded. Then it opened a back and forth like a book. So if you go on my page, you see that conversation. That is on Facebook. And the questions that he was asking are questions that are frequently asked. And I told him I had responded. I was a weekly writer on newzimbabwe.com, on Daily Newsday, and converted that into 3 books, just the conversations that I had with the people. Some never responded, but obviously they were reading. So I converted that into books.
Okay.
One called When Minds Meet, the other Bridge to Prosperity, using the experiences of the mobile network operators in Africa. Then the third one, A Revolution Betrayed, just talking about the promise of independence and the reality of living it, whether the promise was betrayed. So those are the 3 books. Then it occurred to me that let's start an online radio platform to help practitioners, journalists who are complaining about not making a living, so that they could use one platform, which is theirs, like a toll road. And each one of them would then be able to take a blog and write whatever they want to write and edit whatever they need to edit, and let the best story find readers or whoever follows. Then we started that 1873 radio platform.
Yeah.
And that was the purpose of it. And Mkoma Masimba was one of the first ones to be part of the literacy shows. Because to me, there was no need of creating a radio station to compete on entertainment, to compete on current affairs, to compete on many things, but just to help improve literacy, which is like a citizenship radio, to promote active citizenship and to promote people just to learn from others, using radio as a bridge. So he was part of it. So when we started this 1873 Banking on Africa's Future C2C, he then said, I have learned something which I can also share. And his own term is getting deeper. And that's his show. That is, in every issue, there are 2 sides. I may know one side, but when I provoke by telling my side, others may tell their own side to the same story.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may say Mawere got a government guarantee to buy SMM.
Mm-hmm.
Mawere ran away from Zimbabwe to South Africa. Some may say the Reconstruction Act is the best law. But let ideas fight ideas. That is the connection, Mercy. So coming here is just part of the journey of life where people decide what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing is that there are very few people highly praised who may not want to hear the alternative story.
Yeah.
And who better to tell it than a person who is called Benzi?
Mm-hmm.
Because you expect very little,
Mm-hmm.
but you may be shocked by the little that you also don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I hope it addresses Marcy's question. And on your side, have you understood it, Wimbai?
Yes, I have.
Wimbai, okay, Wimbai, listen. Yes, baby. Smoke. Okay, I'll give you one, baby. Please. Okay, I'm on the phone. I'm on a meeting. I'll give you one, okay? Baby, please. Okay, I love you. Sorry, Wimbai, just a second, Wimbai.
No, no, it's fine.
You know patience.
So Marcy is blaming me. Says, Mawere, don't answer. I know the answers, but this is an exam for Wimbai to be the voice of your own. So Wimbai, Marcy wants to hear your voice, not mine.
The thing is, Zika, at the end of the day, should I be like, say, forced to answer those questions? Like I said, I gave you say like go ahead and answer part of the stories, because if you look at it, I've heard you saying like how you started working with Mkoma Masimba. I've heard bits and pieces of it, but I feel myself I'm not in a position to say, give this as it started, because I wasn't there and the two of you were there. That's why I said for me, I'm happy to have you and Koma Masimba answering that question. So if she's not happy with it, I don't know how to help her.
Yeah. So I think she wants your voice to test whether
Thank you very much.
You are
anyway,
cloned.
I got earphones from my girlfriend. She said, Babas, Pamberich Porofita, Modama earphones. And I take the earphones. Anyway, thank you, baby. So, right, this is my answer here. What is the relationship in the Panababa? Right, listen
I
to
think you've been saying that you are coming in as a mentor and as a mentee, and then you want to show the world what you have learned and show Mr. Mawere kuti makadzidza chi through working with him, through his advice, and since you have been coming to him. And like I said, I've heard that when the first conversation it wasn't all jelly and all nice. So yeah. And from there, you are now saying, you know what, I believe in this man and what he has taught me, and I'm giving back to everybody else who cares to listen.
Yes. Thank you, Wimba. Let me help you, my darling, okay? Okay, this is from my own words now. Our prophet
from your own words.
Nakatanga three kuzimnet radio before Facebook. There was a radio Zim. So upon a DJ and the I got station manager on my way. Right, Denga, something like that. I'm sorry, did you have your first station manager on my way? Nikki.
Yeah.
Saka Nikki nakamuzia through Zimnet radio. So ndakawanya ushamwara. Ndopale listening on the value. Saka Nikki bandi bata kati. Tale radio kuno. Ndinoti uye wewe. Ataibo. Kama wewe mdara kutomuzia mdara naganisa neba Twitter. Mdara yakati tivara mari. Sandawana mkana. You get it? So nakati ndeko kuti mawere wanambatira chita mawere wanambata. Right? By engaging now. Ndakuchidzidza now. Okay, by engaging I'm learning now. Right? Doing mentorship. But now namawere wacho anokufunza chinhu wanu. So wadzidza waitena so. Right? So now I'm writing my book. Give back. Chimbraza zvezo zvandakadzidza, right? So pane kuona zvakare. Vatowana mukana wementorship yacho zvakare. Saka tovhara lokati mafoni kozamudhara kuti asanyanya kunetswa stereki. Kuti aone kuti ndiri kumuedera value ndokuti ndirapo ndiri panapa. Right? Okay, baby girl. There's your cigarette, baby. There's your cigarette. Okay, I'm on the show. Saka kuti ndirame ndiri panapa inini. Ndopoda kumushora ndara. Hausani dema WhatsApp calls Because when show yako ya 1 page pashow ine ya book repeats ka ndakuende repetition mashows anakaita newe tiita ma break stories example tinyadzana Trump the debate akaitwa yaya. So those are some of the things nizviko pano pashow yamdara ne book repeats. Saka ndiri kukwasa kwa inonzi value. Saka iwe kutora muri pakone papo manje unofanira kuti show value yako bozi wakarapo kanitadza kuti show value ndipo uchadona manje kuti nisani ndi kutara niwe pakona pa. Saka iyo
inini handidone nokuti ndine yangu show kwenyu ndiri kuya kuzovhakacha.
Panapa panapa nakuza anytime yawada unouya pawada anytime bukire penzi wapinda namdara mawere mufedzera mbega pane nyaya yekuneza nyama $30 manje iyoyo manje ipapa usikunyazi kuibata iwo saka wakabhadhira mari yako yakabhadhira ndei
ndati inga ndataunda topindura wani ndikati nini yangu mari ndakauya ndichida kunoita business nekuona kuti what are opportunities that are there anditi ukabva kwamuka mukana we mentorship ndichitongobvunzawo kuti ko zviri kumbofamba sei. Saka inini am already benefiting so much from that. Ndiri kutaura like I said ndambozvitaura pandataura zvakawandisa kuti inini am meeting different people pari kutodiscussa kuti izvo ndechidiscussa kuti for example we had the guys from sweeping via WEC. And if you look at it, yakatanga tiri pashow yekuti tichitaura nemukomana anonzi murume anonzi Jabo weku-South Africa. Tiri kutaura nyaya yekuti how are they doing inonzi chiyawe yavanoita iye yekupanana mari vozotora at the end of the year. So the main point ku-South Africa inonzi
answer very right.
So wait, let me answer you why I'm saying kuti nini I'm benefiting from this. From that conversation, yekuti tiri kutaura pashow like we are doing now. We got somebody else who called in kuti inini nyaya muri kutaura yekuti vanhu vari unbankable avaka. Tinotori another organization that is dealing with those people. Tinotori nema-app nechi kuti vanoregister votokwanisa kuisa mari dzavo. Saka can we work together here to join Jabu, C2C and them? And following that conversation, takapedzira tasvika pakuti we were discussing tinotori ne account ye World Heritage like via like that will be using isusu as C2C and kuti vanhu members e-C2C vachada kutumidzira mari vachada kutenga zvinhu they can use that as a payment platform. Asi mukatarisa discussions anga akuitwa kuti zviri kufamba sei, who is who in the zoo, who is doing that. I was part of that discussion. Saka ndingataura kuti handisi kudzidza here. Saka for me every £30 here, $30 yangu yandakabhadhara is worth, it's working. Saka no regrets. Ndakusangana khona ndingasangane nawo in my day like
remember the responsibility to answer why did I tell people to pay my $30 kwa Mawere. Here's my answer. Okay. Mawere ane idea yake is C2C. So for members you must see $30. Right? But $30 ya Mawere iri kubenefita ne airtime yari kupa vanhu. Saka TV station yake are dedicated to the show yake ya 1 p.m. Right? So this show cost $30 per year. It means most people are watching for cheating right now. But that's fine. Because EA an agenda. Then now now in my ndikupinda papi inda out aiwa kwa avoid confusion ndakupinda my dear ya Mawere $30 yema subscriptions iyo nokora mandili pa 30. So some people vanofarira book rebenza sina Mawere you're going to pay 30 the same way irubadwa mari kuma C2C. Saka ndi Mawere shamari kana mari yangu ere book rebenza chikuisa ku C2C koko shamari right. See what I mean? Dinda daro manje kuti saka ku negotiate kuti ndirape ndiri panapa I'm also bringing value to Mawere as well. Saka many negotiation skills kuti ndirame ndiri pashow ya Mawere kuti ndine show ya saka Mawere anongachibvunza why should I waste my time newe chete kuti aiwa ka Mr. Mawere remember I'm writing a book. So this book rine ma lessons atakamboita nemi. So example today ndasaka ndiwe panapa then ndapana kuoffer na show yako kudara but anytime yawada pa book rebenzi pano unopinda panapa watone access kudara kuzo wakapata 30 yako right. So wane access yo ndapana kuza wato celebrity ku show yako uzoti koko no yawo but you have to invite me. You have to invite me. Saka ndo answer yangu 30 ufana pa clear pa 30 baba se book rebenzi saka ziyoka mawiro side
inini futi okay inini personally I think kuti value iripo like we are saying kuti chika patiri kusangana apa pari kusangana vanhu vakawandisa vanhu vatatagara tisingazivane handiti ende tichitangira pakuti you know the fact yokuti ndati mhoro uri mukoma masimba and then I can follow what you've been doing asi kune vamwe vanhu vanga vasiri mukoma masimba asi who are doing marvelous things vanga vasina platform yekuratidza kuti vari kuitei but through this platform yatave nayo people are coming up
comment wanyorerwa uri kunakidzwa wanyorerwa comment nabhule muranga verenga comment
handisi kwanisa kuverenga verenga ito handisi kuiona ndiri kungoezvinondikona ekanzi anzi I think you're failing to understand that when minds meet you know what we complement each other and we are powerful. I don't think I'm failing to understand. If I was failing to understand, Mirai ndimpindure. No. Mirai.
What is Bule saying? What is he saying to you? What is he saying?
And I'm failing to understand that when minds meet and complement each other, we become powerful too. Saka ndiri kuti handina kukanganisa kunzwisisa.
What does that mean to you? Zvaanyorezva. Remember, he wrote in his own personal capacity. What does that mean to you?
Nditoona kuti kari kundiudza kuti handisi kunzwisisa I'm just wasting my time being here because handina idea what is happening. Saka ndoda kupindura ka. That's what I'm getting out of it.
I didn't remember working, but you are
not reading, Vimbai.
Say.
You are not reading. What he is saying, I think we, not you.
We. Ko mati makati ndisaite we saka pandendo verenga kadobva ndaverenga kuti ini.
He reads.
So who is this we? The we people are the people who are trying to understand the relationship.
Mentorship yangu na mawere and we don't use we. We doesn't exist. That's my lesson number one. We doesn't exist.
I never said
that we. It doesn't exist.
No, I said there is no we without the I. What Bule is so to do, instead of saying I think or I am failing, I always fail. He is now inclusive, like all of us.
Inclusive, we got no better jumper.
No. But he is saying, Mimbai, read before you comment. And you are not the only one. So, yeah, if you read correctly what he's saying, he is actually complimenting you.
You know what, Sega? Chinoitika ndechekutika. We like ndakutanga futi to we.
So we is correct because he is including himself in the we.
Okay.
Yes, are you saying there are times when we can say we and not say, and times when we shouldn't say we?
If you are a member of C2C, you just know that the person has got a balloon head that is including other people without their consent.
Oh yeah, okay then.
Okay, Mr. Mawere and Mbai, I want to answer Bule Murungani. Bule, welcome to Bukre Benzi at Mr. Mawere's show. Tiripa 80.3 FM. Your comment, ndokutaura as a prophet, ukoma masimba. Yandi show kuti Bule uruku addressa isusu tiripa panel, tiri 3, newe Bule wechi 4. So you are communicating to the panel. This is the first responsibility. Then after that, kuna wari comment section again. So your comment Bule, it is based on zwa kuterera panapa, niza wawerenga mu comment section. Dopa punda the we. Who is this we? Bule he's saying la vuma angu. I don't understand. Avuma. But I don't understand ni dega. Pane vari kutoona ni vari papano vasuri kunzwisisa. Saka papano pana 3. There's one anwa Vimbai who's not understanding, who's learning about this relationship. So Mary, you are learning about my relationship to this show. So Bule is saying, I'm like, you too. Bule is sure it one. When great minds meet, I mama wearing I'm Mama Simba, great people argue. Right? Akatikana wani wa wakasanga na iwa aba pina prophetic way with Zimbabwe yanaka. Yes, Bule are right. Otherwise, I'll be wasting time. Utara Zakawandi. Bule with Iowa. Never knew 2 years sang never have Zimbabwe yanaka. Yes, Bule, I bet Zimbabwe yanaka. Anyway, I hand over to Mr. Mawere Muzwesho.
All right. We have Raymond and Nkiwane. Raymond is in the UK. And Nkiwane has just joined. He paid last night. And welcome both.
Thank you.
Hello.
And,
Hello.
Go ahead. Just introduce yourself so that the people who are watching may know who you are, since we are building a community. The first thing is just to know each other.
You can start, my brother.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for welcoming me on board. My name is Nkululeko. I'm not going to say much, but I'm just going to be like Masimba and try and say what Nkululeko means. In Shona, it means Rusunungu. I'll ask a question to you guys. When is the independence of Zimbabwe?
All right. So that's a question. But you are based in Australia.
Yeah.
And your last name is Nkiwane.
Yes.
What do you do in Australia so that we may know each other better? We never know.
No, I'm actually in the energy sector. So I'm just a service provider.
Which renewable energy or conventional?
Actually, I actually work with the network operator, but currently concentrating on both. Because
distribution or transmission or generation?
Distribution and transmission.
Or distribution and transmission.
Yes.
And in which part of Australia?
I'm in Western.
Oh, Western, okay. That's good. So you know of Mkoma Masimba?
I know of Mkoma Masimba because I realized there was a bottleneck. The questions you asked me, I was not going to come and display my ignorance. So I had to go back and follow in everything that you guys have covered.
All right. We have Priscilla Banda Mkoki, who says, oh, Ngululeko, my classmate, always been intelligent. Imagine if someone says always been a fool.
That's a nice compliment, but I must leave the fluctuation.
So, and the Uncle for my classmate always been intelligent. That's a compliment for you from Priscilla. Priscilla Banda Mkoki.
And that's the purpose of this C2C. You never know, by you showing face, how many people would recognize or remember you.
Mr. Mawere, excuse me for a second. I'm negotiating with my wife here. Just a second. I'll be back.
All right. Okay, and Raymond, go ahead.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Raymond Makunde. I'm based here in the UK. I'm the CEO of Bishop Logistics Group. We operate in England, Zimbabwe, and South Africa at the moment. So I'm a friend to Ngoma Masimba. I'm a friend and a brother to Mr. Mawere.
Thank you. When we discussed this community building, I think Raymond was quick to say, I'm in, not only in, but I want to show my face.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add my voice because I'm a businessman and I understand what business is. It's an association of people.
Mm-hmm.
And when we choose to associate, everything becomes more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I met Raymond some time back, but it took Mukoma Masimba's sickness to connect us again.
Mm-hmm.
So had he not been writing book Rebenzi, we probably could have died separately. But now that we are reconnected, there are things that we can do faster because we choose to use the same platform and work within the community.
Mm-hmm.
So once we know each other, it means we don't have to spend the next 5 years trying to find each other. If there's an opportunity, I remember last week or the week before, Raymond managed to speak to the co-founder of Blockcoin,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who is also based in the UK.
Yeah.
And Raymond is not new to cryptocurrencies. He's already using cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm.
So that those who are afraid, risk averse, may use him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the connection.
Yeah. And in that case, if I may add, we can have Mr. Raymond coming in. Hello, once again, coming in as a mentor to the cryptocurrency group, which brings us again back to this, mentorship type of problem that we had.
That's right. So that's why when I say find more people like Raymond, Gululeko, so that they can share their experiences.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's enough to be able to provoke somebody to do what they are doing differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what Raymond, you wanted to add something because you're not knowing that you're watching.
Okay, Mr. Moed, I'm back now. Thank you very much for the patience, guys. And the new team, welcome to Mkoma Masimba. Tripa show Yamdara, Mr. Mawere. So if you've got any questions for me, Linga Farag engage. Thank you very much.
Okay. Raymond.
I don't have any question for now, but I think we have to continue. Now, man, what I said, man, what do I want to say? Mkoma Masimba, I was gonna call you and explain to you why I didn't pay for those other two people, because something happened which has affected me personally. So that's the reason why I decided not to pay for them, because I will explain to you that I will speak to you and come on my way. The reason why I didn't pay for those two people.
Okay, no problem.
So, yeah. Ray,
but we want to continue with what we discussed.
I want to answer you.
I think let's resolve. I think Gululeko asked the question of independence, and I don't know whether Gululeko, you want to be able to expand independence of Zimbabwe. Is that correct?
Well, sorry to sorry, my brother. Remember, Mr. Mawere, you promised me your show is organized. Raymond is here. He asked me a question. He said something about me. Allow me to finish with Raymond. Then I'll go to Nkulileko.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Number one, Raymond, I'm now a prophet. Whatever he said, you, Raymond, you promised me, you told me you're going to pay for 3 people to support my book. Those 3 people is Man and Stan. I ended up inviting Stan to my shows and he came. That's another story. I've got plans for Mandla. I even spoke to Mandla. He's waiting just because you had a personal problem. My brother, I respect. But communication is the key. You failed to communicate. By failing to communicate, Stana is on standby, Mandla is on standby, and the people are waiting for entertainment. So once you fail to communicate, please, can you see the damages you're causing now? Nevertheless, now you're going to fix it up. Thank you very much. When you make a promise next time, when you're dealing with me, I need dates because all I do is plan. That's my answer to you. Now I go to Mkulu. Let's say, my brother. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, brother. Let's go to Mkululeko. Has been waiting for a long time. Mkululeko, I got your question. You're asking me, gentlemen, when is the independence of Zimbabwe or the independence of Zimbabwe? Here's my answer to you. I take this question from the panel. I take it as a direct question to Mkoma Masimba. I'm now a prophet. I'm here for a purpose to save Zimbabwe. The Independence Day of Zimbabwe is 18 April 1980, right? That is what we know. I was born 1983. So the independence of Zimbabwe happened before I was born. So my purpose of life started 1983. I'm here, I've got the solutions. I can't give you an exact date, but all I can say to you, which is a fact, in Zimbabwe, in 2021, we are going to have elections. From that election, that's when we're going to know who is the president of Zimbabwe. Then, if you're asking a question, when is the independence? That shows me you are not free, my brother. Me too. That's why I'm writing this book. But one thing I can promise you, in this book, I've got solutions that are going to save Zimbabwe. That's my answer to you. So you're talking with the right man.
No, I hear you, Mkoma Masimba. What I was bringing to the show is to let you guys know that 18 April is the day I was born. The prophet before you gave me a name, kuti inini ndini kusununguko wacho. Inini ndiri chasunungura something. So when I come to see is to contribute positively for that to happen. And my intention is to contribute. If I can help one person, is one less person to worry about. That's what drives me to be here.
My brother, right now, I told you about my idea. My idea, I have a solution for Zimbabwe, right? That's my idea. So how can I work with you? Because you have got your agenda. I respect that. How can we merge to work together? Because your intention is to use an example, your name Rusunguko. So you're feeling pushed. You need purpose. I'm telling you, I'm the prophet now. I'm the boss. I'm in charge. So what can we do to work together now? Because now you're closer to me. Because you're a member of C2C. You've made an effort. I'm not saying I have your solutions. I'm saying I have a solution for Zimbabwe. So by engaging with you, you get to understand me better.
Okay, Masimba. I've been following the show from the terraces. I'll be a hindrance if I come uninformed. So this is why I'm coming to Mr. Mawere to say, Mr. Mawere, can I go through the meal? I need that mentorship. I need to be literate. I need to be able to communicate. So if there is training in the background, I'm willing to go and through all that. So but when I come here, I'm polished.
Yeah. I think
to be there.
I think you are speaking to the issue that we had in one of our WhatsApp groups. Precisely that, how do we come together, you and I, and others, just to learn what we may not know as individuals. So, what is independence itself? What is Rusununguko? Where is wisdom? Where is common sense? Where is reason and logic? And who is the party that obtained independence? And Mumbai is here. She volunteered as a member of P2C to say, I want to be the face of admin, just to bring Kululeko in so that together we can create a community to interrogate this idea of independence. And who is to lead us? Is the president the face of leadership, the voice of leadership, or it is me who has failed to understand civics, literacy, citizenship, university? Where do we learn to be citizens? What is citizenship? What does it mean to be active? What does it mean to make public office bearers accountable? Do we do it as individuals, or do we come together and form ourselves into a voice where we can write letters and be able to put our public office bearers accountable? Right now, yesterday, I was talking to somebody to meet with some representatives of the government of South Africa to talk about Zimbabwe, where I said, I don't want to be part of that group. They said, why? I said, I don't feel that I'm representative. I will go to that meeting, pretend my views are the views of every Zimbabwean, when I've not tried to reach out to other Zimbabweans who may be able to tell me Zimbabwe they know better than I do. I've been out of Zimbabwe for 33 years. So I've not received any salary in Zimbabwe. I've not received any pension in Zimbabwe. I've not been there. But how many people say Mawere ran away from Zimbabwe who don't even know me? So I'm only giving you my story, but it's not comprehensive. So when we come together voluntarily, like what you've done in Kululeko, to say, I want to belong, so that we can be able to have a Zoom meeting with the South African government, doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in Australia, South Africa, we live in the digital age where we can all add our voices. And if we elect one of us to represent us, then we'll know how difficult it is to create a WhatsApp group and have a leader. But how many people expect an admin in a WhatsApp group to be a leader? How many people come in a WhatsApp group and ask, what is this group for? But you're already in. You're born, you are a Zimbabwean. Who knows better than you about what you want to see done? So voice up, step forward, step up to the plate. Use your voice rather than pretend to represent others with their knowledge, without their knowledge and consent. This morning, somebody was saying, I'm a leader of a WhatsApp group, and woke up in the morning blaming me why things have not happened. I said, look in your mirror. If you find me in your mirror, then it's a wrong mirror. Step forward. If you need mentorship, be the voice of mentorship. Like what you just said, Guru Leko. Very significant. I want to learn. I want to belong to other people who are talking about what matters. And that's what I said to Nkoma Masimba. I said, can you come on my show? I'm a prophet. I said, good luck. But find the cure for COVID first. But I can't participate in all shows.
Yeah, true that.
I got 24 hours. I said, Mkwama Simba, what you have learned, practice, be the face of it. Be the voice of it. Let me surrender the shadow. When it was journalists, they said, Mkoma, can you write what I like what you told me, but I can't put the word. And I started writing. Then Daily News, the editor called me and said, Mkoma, we always get your stories wrong. Just to describe me. You know how difficult it is. Zimbabwean born South African businessman. So I said, okay, that's an interesting one. If I was not born in Zimbabwe, who would I be? Why do you have to start describing me as Zimbabwean born? And you are the editor. Why can't you just call me Mutuma Mawere? If it's a white person, they will never say British born or Gloucestershire born or Melbourne born Australian. If it's a black businessman, they want to know who is behind you.
Yeah.
Like every woman, there must be a man behind you. And these are journalists who can't write a story. Another journalist 3 days ago, I said, look at this judgment. And he writes a story. I couldn't even take it forward. Mutuma Mawere lambasted the Zimbabwe government. I said, where did I lambast them? He says, but that's what you are saying. This government is a bad government. I said, please quote me. Ask me a question and say in response to this question, Mutuma said this. And the editor says, you are trying to tell me how to do my stories. I'm saying, if you put my name as a headline about something that happened 16 years ago, then you say it's news in 2020. So how many of these people do we know who consciously, deliberately mislead the public, create divisions between people, and want to sell something, one headline, one followers on Facebook? Can you imagine? I'll come on air, say nothing, nonsense, so that people can follow me. And then somebody tells me, I know what the public wants. They want shit. Let me give them shit.
So, like I said,
okay.
This is a group of like-minded people. We know who is who in the zoo. So I'm coming after the value. What I bring to the table has to be guided as well. Because to be honest with you, I'm one of those people who heard the gossip about how people benefited and stuff. I've heard your shows. You've got every card on the plate. For those who want to know, to say, read this, I'm prepared to go through and read everything, to know your story, know everybody's story. When I write my own story, when I add my voice, it's an experience that someone out there is struggling, you know.
No, that's exactly, even just to write a story, just to have a headline, that today Ngululeko and Kiwani contacted me on Facebook Messenger. And I responded to you, and today, without force, You are a member, and you are saying, let me be the change that I want to see. And when you joined, you confirm that I've joined. This is my membership. And this is the way life should be. But imagine I come here to argue over lunch. What is my $30 going to do? Why should I pay $30? Yet I can give up a lunch to make things happen so that those who serve us can also be paid. Those who do papers can also make sure that we are structured. We have papers talking about issues of concern. And then somebody says, I want a free church because the pastor was anointed, ordained by God to be there for me, day in, day out. And I want the best government, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of mentality that has given us a lot of problems. The people who blame government are not even living in the country where they complain about. You ask them, who is your mayor in Sydney? They don't know the mayor. That's what I was saying to Mkwama Zimbabwe. You talk about Zimbabwe. I got a cure for Zimbabwe. Then some people will be lost. If you have a cure, you have 40 years to provide a cure. So if you are serious, just talk about saying, I need to find a cure. Because how can seemingly educated people be so stupid to admit that they don't have a cure for Zimbabwe? Each one of us have a cure. I remember one conversation with former President Mugabe. We were watching a soccer match, and during the break, it was him, Professor Mtambara, who was the Deputy Prime Minister at the time, and Professor Mtambara, in his own wisdom, said, people like Mawere should come back to Zimbabwe. Then the late president looked at me and he said, yes, Mawere, why are you not in Zimbabwe? I said, President, when I left Zimbabwe, did I ever come to your office? He says, no. So I said, why should my coming back be a subject of discussion? Why should somebody say I must come to Zimbabwe? And that person is not me. So when I leave the country, I'm not delusionary. And I know where to arrive. When I arrive, please give me the respect. But I don't belong to Zimbabwe. If you are president of Zimbabwe, that's fine. But don't be my president where I am. If I'm not sick, don't be my doctor. If I don't have a legal problem, don't be my lawyer. Stay in your lane. And you know what President Mugabe said? I understand what you are saying, Mawere. I also left and went to Ghana. And I came back on my own. And I came on an extended visit. I never went back to Ghana. And I thought I was going to go back. So I said, you have learned one thing, Mtambara, the power of choice. Only to find Mtambara writing a book, leaving that portion in it.
Mr. Mawere, is Mkoma Mazin.
All right, go ahead.
I would like to invite Adam Mtambara, please. I would like to ask him questions.
Yeah?
I'm going to learn a lot from him. I would like to invite. I would like to meet Adam Tambara at your show.
No, I'm saying
I would like to
our
meet him.
show. Let's convert ourselves into a community so that even if I'm not there, I'm not a TV person. I don't have the personality. I don't have the voice. But let's ask those people. I'll give you his number. But ask him as a community. Want to build a community, Professor Mtambara.
Mr. Mawere, I'm not asking for his number, right? He doesn't know me, but he knows you. So all I'm asking, on your next shows, if you could please invite Atam Tambara. I would like to interview Atam Tambara. What do you want to be? I'll do the show now. Or else what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this video, then I'll put to Twitter. I can watch from this minutes. I'm inviting you, okay, to Atam Tambara. I'm inviting you to this show. Mr. Mawere mentioned your name. So I would like to have a show with you, my brother. I would like to learn from your journey. And I would like to understand, why did you say Mr. Mawere must come to Zimbabwe? And you were telling the President Mugabe those words. So there are lessons that I want to learn. So that's
I'm saying that's what I'm trying to do. What Ngiwane said, can we build a community? We formally invite him for a conversation on the diaspora, on the reasons why people are outside the country. Because I would not, I would rather have somebody. We have somebody who can have this show, and then do it to educate others. First, whether this conversation took place, because I could be lying. For the sake of views, I could be bringing the name of Mtambara and Mugabe into a conversation where they are not able, Mugabe can't respond. So all we need is to have a structure, whether it's Mbimbai, Ngiwane, to say, Mtambara, I've heard this in one of the literacy shows. We are writing a book about the unspoken words that we privatize. So we want to learn from that. And I'm sure there are many conversations I've had with him that he would also want to share. Even when I met him in America, and I organized for him to be honored among other 40 Zimbabweans in the diaspora. And he was there. I had never met him, but I got his name to say, if we have a head of state coming to America, he must use this time to honor those who have left, not to condemn them. That those who have left have shown something that we don't have in Zimbabwe. So let's celebrate them. And that, he will tell you that. And let's talk, Dr. Chambori, I brought you here to honor, for Mandela to honor you, to say, President Mandela, can you honor Zimbabweans in South Africa? And he agreed. And I asked President Mugabe, can you honor South Africans? In South Africa, he came and honored Cyril Ramaphosa, who's the president today. You can ask President Ramaphosa. Do you know this man called Mawere? He will tell you. So I'm saying, Mkwama Simbai, there's a lesson to learn. Let's be organized. We can call anyone. It's not a lie. It's part of your book. Just confirm, is it true? So even then, Washington, you can call and say, do you know this man?
Mr. Mawere, if I call Atam Tambara,
yeah,
he's not going to answer the call. You know me. So all I'm asking you, Mr. Mawere, value for value now. You have mentioned his name here. I would like to speak with him. So if you could please invite me here. I'm also your mentee. He's also your mentee because you are telling me what you've done for him. That's mentorship again. What my sister Bimbai was asking. What is mentorship? What she wants to learn, what she wants to do here. So that's
But if
mentorship
you want
again.
it,
So I'm
I
putting
you
you.
understand what I'm saying, what Mkwama Simba, we're not saying the same thing.
No, I hear you. You see, what I've learned in life, to listen, to understand is very important. I hear
I'm
you clearly.
I'm saying to Mkwama Simba, let's be organized and let's invite people, not to Mkwama Simba,
Mhm.
but to a show about building bridges,
Yeah.
about making it as it is, not about gossip. Mawere, did you say this? I'm only saying this because we're trying to build storytelling as part of book writing.
Yep.
So
Can
that
I,
he, yeah?
So where does this leave us now with our mentorship program? We are still doing like the 100 mentees, 100 mentees for a mentor to get started.
No,
can I say something?
I'm saying that Professor Mtambara may be a mentor, just to talk about the story that we have and the lessons from it.
Mhm.
Because there is a view that Zimbabwe, wherever they are property of the Zimbabwe government.
Mhm.
So you belong to Zimbabwe, you are a Zimbabwean asset. There's an alternative view that you are independent, you are yourself. You left Zimbabwe on your own. And you don't need the president to be like Raymond in the UK. Raymond said they have succeeded because of Boris Johnson.
No, doesn't do anything for nobody.
How many people in Zimbabwe tell you that the problem in Zimbabwe is leadership? That if I were the president of Zimbabwe, all the problems will go.
No.
Go on, where? Allow me to say something. I think
All right.
what I'm understanding from the word go when we discussed about this, you can correct me if I'm wrong. We kept on using the word community. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I'm going to give an example. I'm not a golf player, but I go to a golf course to meet people who play golf.
That's right.
For me to enter the golf course, you have to be invited by a member who is part of that golf club. Correct?
That's right. That's right.
Now, we talk about people that run the economies of this world, the people who are the who's and who, the Bill Gates and all that.
Yeah.
There are certain fraternities. Let me use the word fraternity.
That's community.
That's a community.
Mhm.
There are certain things that you cannot do, even though you've got a good idea, good mind, good intention. They will ask you, who do you know amongst us for you to come and share with?
Mhm.
So my understanding is when we built this community, this C2C community,
Mhm.
with the members that are going to come on board, I'm the member Raymond, I'll bring member John will bring Susan will bring Stephanie will bring Elizabeth. Out of my membership, I can bring 5 people, but the 5 people are going to bring other people as well. So we are building a community. Now, these people we are bringing on board, they are bringing different expertise.
Mhm.
That's right.
I have friends who are lawyers.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they are lawyers, but somebody introduced me to them on a different level.
That's right.
You meet people in these communities who are doing different projects.
That's right.
In the community, in their own community as well. Like, let's say I might be doing something with Chinyara Children's Home in Zimbabwe.
That's right.
But I'm based in England here. Then I'll come on and because our aim is to enhance each other and help each other and see what we can do to make our communities better. Then by just mentioning that, guys, I'm actually rushing to Zimbabwe tomorrow, and I've got to meet the board of trustees for Nyara's Children's Home. We are doing some renovations of the building. Then my sister can say, you know what? I've got something that I can contribute to that cause. Then my brother said, no, here in Australia, you know what? We've got a charity organization that I'm part of as well. How can I do to help? What can I do to help you to reach your goals in Chinyarazo? But see, my point here is all this is going to come up now because we are all in one community.
That's right.
So we are building a community not to compete, but to complement each other and build each other and get ideas and see how best we can do. When we do that, trust me, we don't need, like what Nkoma always say, we don't need a political leader to make our lives better. We can make our own life better.
Yes,
that's right.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I think Raymond, if you look at how Africa was colonized, or those people, it was communities. It was people coming together. Some would be farmers, some would be doctors, some would be lawyers, architects, accountants, but they're all part of one human family. And those who don't belong, don't belong.
That's why we've got a sign. That's why we've got a sign written members only. I'll give an example.
Yeah.
I love sailing. I've got many of my friends who own yachts and all that. I go around all the oceans and all that with my friends. You know, Russians, British, whatever. I don't own a yacht yet, but I'm going to have one. One day we went to one place. There was a sign right there. You cannot even come with your vessel unless you're a member for that particular vessel. I'm talking about Monaco. If any one of us have been to Monaco, you cannot even go. You can say, I'm a millionaire from Zimbabwe, I'm a billionaire. They say, we don't know you. Who are you?
Central Place, they'll tell you, my friend, you are not one of us. Therefore, no entry. It's not apartheid.
Yes.
That's the
so
way
there are rules and that governs the membership. There are things that need to be followed for you to be recognized as a member of that particular.
That's cool.
So when you are associated with somebody, you have to understand the vision, the motto. Why am I associating with them?
You know, like the World Economic Forum, it brings presidents, it brings majesties. But who is the World Economic Forum? It is the people who get there. But if you don't pay, you don't have access. You can go to Davos. They'll tell you, my friend, no access. And if you have not paid, they will knock you out.
Exactly.
So I think, Raymond, those are the things, because there are people who come here and ask Nkoma Masipa, why should I pay $30? What is it for? Yeah. They say, is it about radio? He's saying, guys, come together, pay something to have something. Nothing will come out of nothing. But some people would want to convert it otherwise. So all I'm saying is that if we are organized, there is no problem that would defeat diverse people and complementary people. Because each of us have two eyes, those who have them. But we can only see so much. When we come together, it means we multiply. And we can see further. I can be in England. Without being in England, I can invest my money without leaving my desk. And if something makes sense, it makes sense. What I shared in the group earlier, in that group, someone in Australia called me. He said they have a charity in Zimbabwe they want to set up in South Africa, but they are sending it to me. And we need 3 directors in South Africa. Instead of me coming from my own mind with 3 directors, if I have C to C, then I say any one of the guys come forward, those who want to serve. then they will be nominated, they will be considered and appointed. They get to know other people. But I'm out of it than for me to be burdened. Last night, somebody called me to Zimbabwe, 11 p.m. We have a problem, a domestic problem. Can you? I said, no, I don't want to hear your domestic problem. Because the moment I hear it, I have to hear everyone else's domestic problem. Why can't you get organized so that others who may be better positioned to listen? Because while I'm listening to you, I'm thinking of something else. And you send me your CV, I forget it. Or I don't even know what to say about you. Because I don't know you. It's like Angululeko, he sent me a number. It's not saved in my system. Why did I say to you, Angululeko, who are you? And he said, this idiot, I gave him a number a few minutes ago. And he's asking me, who are you? But
No,
that's,
you're a busy man.
no, that's my genuine response. That you think I now know you because you sent me your number. But sometimes I don't have the time to convert that number into a community of my saved numbers. And if I don't do it on time, I may stay for the next 10 years. Then you think I'm rude. So that is so we can get the professor is just one of many. It's not the only one. But let's be structured so that we have 400 questions and already we are getting to 2 hours, so that we just have a show that starts, finishes, and then we are covered. So, Guama Simba, thank you. All right, go ahead.
Something. What time does your show start?
1 o'clock.
Yeah, Monday to Friday.
No, if I can manage, what I would like to do is that even if you call it my show, anyone can host it.
No, I'm talking about you when you're hosting a show. What time does it start?
I'm saying I don't want to imprison myself in a show, but you can put it 1 to 2 o'clock, Mawere show, but it doesn't mean that I will be on the show.
Okay. Why am I asking Mr. Mori? Remember, we are talking about the organized. I want to be organized when I'm dealing with you. So I would like to know, when I'm with Mr. Mawere show, when? Now I know at least 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So
but if the only thing I'm trying to educate others, that when you hear Mawere's show, just know that it would not be him. If he's dead, the show must go on.
Remember, the Mawere show, really help you, Mr. Mawere. Number one, there's a TV platform, right? This 1873. On the TV, there's Mr. Mawere. So whenever you are live, that's the one really the show. So you are telling me your show is scheduled 1 p.m. That means not Monday to Friday, but whenever you are able, 1 p.m. you'll be available. So you've given me a chance to also plan ahead, so that I'll be letting you know, Mr. Mawere, if you're having a show, I want to participate. I'll be letting you know in advance, right? Then we are talking about being organized. Today I met my new brother, Kunle. He's new to me. Maybe I'm also new to him, right? So this brother, I get a chance to go and host his new friends, right? So usually new people we invite on your show. Remember, when you get a new guest, that's the most important guest, because he's confused, like what's going on here? He wants to know, he wants to learn. So we've said a lot of things here, but he's new. Let's please, if it's me, I would try to demystify things so that we move together. He paid his money. The most important thing was to ask, does he understand why he paid $30? So that show can also answer other people asking $30 a day. Remember, we're still starting. Then I want you to mention the issue of Mtambara. Just because you, Mr. Mawere, mentioned the word Mtambara. Then I'm aware. All of your shows, please, I'd love to meet Mtambara. I want to ask me questions based on what you shared. But no, Simba, let's be honest. But I'm saying, Mr. Mawe, on your shows, I'm later 1 p.m. Can you please also invite Mtambara? I'm not forcing you, I'm not putting pressure to say by tomorrow. I'm letting you know in your diary. Simba would like to meet Mtambara. I'll tell you why. Because at the moment, the public, Simba are Penga. So if I speak to Mutambara Pashoen, that can also start to answer questions. Mtambara, why? That's why no bogre do the storyline.
No, I don't think you are hearing me. So if you chose to hear me, what I'm saying exact opposite. I'm saying is let us try to build a community using the examples that Raymond was talking about. People who are actually members of clubs. And if Mutambara is now in the Rhodes Trust, that gives scholarship to people. And we can call him to say we have an initiative of building shared understanding, and then whoever is available can interview him. Hey, Prof, how is the Prof? Hello? Hey, do you know somebody who goes Australia anonzi Mkoma Masimba? Yeah. No, who is this one now? He's somebody who is on a part of the C2C initiative. And we are trying to build a virtual community of Zimbabweans and other people just to share insights, ideas. And I was talking of our experience with Mugabe at the stadium. He said, very intriguing. Do you think, Professor, will confirm that you had actually, at a break of a soccer match, you were sitting with Mugabe? You, I thought you are the enemy of Mugabe. So I said, you can call Professor anytime. He can confirm if his memory is sharp. So what is that guy doing in Australia? He is writing a book, Ranoti book Rebenzi, and I am Benzi like Zimbabwe. That Zimbabwe is a sick country because it has had sick leaders like you. So he wants to interrogate what the hell were you doing in government? So Ari was in a mental institution. He has left the mental institution that to play this part of mental. Yeah. He must go back. He must go back and leave him there. Leave him in the mental institution. So why did he leave? No, he said, I spoke to the doctors there. And I said, is he sick? He says, no, I'm looking for a cure for Zimbabwe. But the educated people, they don't want to talk to the uneducated. But Zimbabwe, the majority are uneducated. So that makes our leaders uneducated or products of uneducated people. So why do we expect solutions from products of foolish people? Here, I've seen something that I need to be able to expand so that we can see where the sickness is. Very, very interesting guy. Yeah, so I thought, yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, it's the same project he's working on. He's actually getting more people to think and talk about building communities and skills excellence. He says, so that's he's part of the driver, but he says, I need content. I need to talk to people who can respond to public policy issues. And while I'm writing my own book,
all right. And in terms of that demo, we had spoken about doing
yeah, but that's where also you can talk about that as well, because you know there are people who are intelligent but don't have followers, and followers they need rotten meat. So he's got followers on Facebook who want to hear from him, but he doesn't have people like you. But you can talk to me about these wonderful plants, but they end up in my ears. So he wanted to make it a storytelling and also talking about your book, Thought Leadership. And what does Zimbabwe require? Does it require more thinkers?
all right, so let me pause so we can have a full up of it.
All right, so yeah, no problem. Okay.
Yes, yes. Benzrapinda. Thank you, Mr. Moiri. Yes. Right. Vimbai. Anyway, go ahead, Mr. Moiri. Yes. God is prophetic, Moiri. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, so that's it. Okay, Raymond, yeah. I think Raymond is on mute. Okay, go ahead.
Am I? No. Yeah. What I was saying is, what just happened now, but that goes to show what I was saying earlier on. Kuti, sometimes the breakthrough that you need is not far away from you. It's people that are closer to you. But now, because we are building a community, we pull the strength. I'll give you an example. Ngoma Mawere, my brother and my sister. Ngoma Mawere introduced me to this guy. Remember the guy here? I'm supposed to meet him. Actually, we're supposed to meet, but me, I'm planning to fly. I'm flying to Africa on the middle of the month. Right?
Okay.
What is happening now? You know what? This guy, he shared something very interesting to me after introduction, because we spoke.
Yeah.
This man, right? His association, they are sponsoring, listen to this, young boys, kids who wants to aspire to become Formula One drivers. Now, if you know about Formula One, it's not an easy to get into Formula One. You have to have money. Now, because I'm into crypto and Bitcoins, one of the young boy last week, it's 2 weeks ago now, he bought a coin from this man, your friend. And guess what? The boy sold the coin to his grandfather. Then the grandfather, then in turn, sponsored all the money this boy needed for him to join. So that 2 weeks ago, the boy was his first race ever in his life.
I'm going to say stop.
No, listen, no, let me finish.
There's the reason why I'm saying stop. I'm going to explain to you. Right? We are talking about community building. You are an active member of C2C. Then I'm also an active member. So we are 2 members from C2C. Then you promised me that you are going to pay tickets or to pay membership fee.
That one we said, my sister, I think you heard me when I came on board. What did I say? I said there are reasons. No, there are reasons.
Let me finish.
No, listen.
Let me finish. My
no, we don't need to go around and round and round and round. Now, we do not, I've got my reason, which I told you I'm not going to mention here on this platform now. We're going to talk on our own why I decided not to pay for them. So I think you should understand where I'm coming from. You should also take my word before you can continue saying that and repeat and repeat. $30 is not a problem. You understand? But remember, we're talking about character here. We need to consider so many things. In some associations, where you can agree with me, your character also concerns. I don't want to be part of something that diminish my character. I'm not saying I'm perfect. No, there are certain things that people do that destroy the character, that even destroy the name of the organization that we are trying to build, or the community that we're trying to build. You understand? So that's why I'm saying to you, Ngoma Simba, I was going to come and talk to all of us on our own, not on live now. The reason why I decided not to pay for those two people, those two individuals. So please, can you understand my point?
Thank you very much, and I hope you're not going to interrupt me. So,
I think Raymond was making an important point about this block coin that was converted.
Yes, I agree. But all I'm saying,
okay.
Remember, we are talking about building a community. Right now, as you can see in my book, I'm already preparing a show with Atam Tambara. For me, to give me Atam Tambara is a certain value that is expected from Mawere, for me to convince Mawere to show you there's nothing called private calls, right? What I wanted Mtambara. So far, so good. So we're talking about community building. Then you, Raymond, you've been here with me, but I'm telling Mr. Mawere, at this stage, Raymond is not a community builder. He promised me he's gonna pay 2 tickets. I needed money, I needed stand for my book remains shows. I've already captured money, I've already captured stand. The only thing left was for me to work with them, did Panopa TV. But Panopa TV, $30 subscription fees. Then Raymond promised, then he kept quiet. So as a community member, Raymond, I've learned also one thing. Communication is very important. I don't know what you're going through with your personal problems. So because you failed to communicate, that's why you made a mistake. And you have admitted. And you told me, you promised me you are going to pay. Then you are telling me, I want to talk to you in private. Then I'm answering you. I don't have time to talk to you in private, my brother. All I do is now public. I've declared that I'm a prophet now. I'm now a public person. If you've got anything private with me, I've got no time for that. So it's something I learned from Mr. Mawere. I used to call him before, but right now I only find him on a show like this. I've learned that, hey, he's also busy with his personal things. So Raymond, I'm telling you, there's no time for me called private time. All you do, my brother, when you find me on the show, then we talk. Remember, I'm building a bridge. I'm not building a wall. It's a mistake you have made. It's okay. It can be resolved. This is what I call community building. I don't want to say, I don't want to because right now I'm ready for Mtambara. When I'm saying I'm Mtambara, Papa, I'm not about to Zoom. So I'm not permission to go for ambassador. So I didn't have time to tell the private. I'm away. Another than anyway, God, but $30 yaki. I got to do right. Then it was negotiate the priorities. That's what I learned from you, Mr. Mawere. Structures in order is community building. I mean, that's my presentation.
Okay, Raymond, any response on that?
No, my response is very simple. Masimba mentioned the word structure. Do you know in every house there's order? In every house there's protocol. In every association is the way you handle things, isn't it? The reason why I'm saying I don't want to mention why I didn't pay for those two individuals is because I was going to discuss with Mawere. Remember how many times they've tried to call me this week? Remember, I've been busy, I've been running up and down. Remember, I've been sending you messages and responding. So this is why I'm saying that there are certain things we cannot discuss when we are talking about here. Because remember, that's why they say there's closed meetings in every organization. There's what they call there's closed meetings where they talk about things that pertaining the running of the organization, right? So what the reason that I have for not paying for those two, I cannot come here and start talking about it. I don't want to mention people's names here because you'll be surprised what I'm going to say. You understand? We are not here for that. I don't think I came on the live today to discuss why I didn't pay for those two individuals. I thought I came to contribute my understanding of what we are trying to build as a community.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. At this stage, means I'm not gonna buy your stories. I'm not gonna listen to you with some bitcoins because when dealing you have promised and you failed. Those are kind of kosher shit. Too much tickets higher. Zema Bitcoin and they don't need those stories at this stage because what you promised. I didn't force you. Ikasadaro Mr. Mawere chataka kumanya kuti ariseke mabitcoin yacho. But the same guy who's bringing the idea. Ane zvaakapromisa mucommunity yake haasada azviita. Why can't we do baby steps? Raymond, just those 2 tickets, then you'll be able to talk to me about your bitcoins. At this stage, I don't want to listen to that. I want Mandla. I need Mandla. I need Stana, Pabuk Rebens. And you promised to pay for them.
No.
Because I'm looking for my mother. I need Stana. I need Mandla. But a brother promised that I will support you. And the communicate. Right? After the beg me another promise that I'm gonna do it, but I'll call him private. Then I'm saying, no, look at me, my brother. When I'm a level last week, Lapa level and I'm Tambara. And it's not going to private cozy. Right? Can you see? My levels are going up, my value is up now. That's not a joke. You're talking about a professor here, robotics, Can you see my values where I am right now? It's called value, my brother. So what private co and it's not time here to Mr. Well. Let's do things in order. Structures. Otherwise, I'm a Bitcoin. I'm not going to listen to you. Because I'll say to you, you owe me 2 tickets, my brother. You owe me 2 powerful members and 2 cravings. So if you tell me about Bitcoins, I'll say you're lying. We waste time here now. Let's just do step by step. Step by step. Promise less, deliver more.
I think I hear the 2 sides, Raymond. I hope you also can agree with me that there are 2 sides to the coin. That building communities requires public exposure. The moment you defer to certain members, then it means those members control the organization that you are part of. Let's aggregate, we elect office bearers, and we create elders in a church, rather than going to a pastor and say, I want to talk to you about so and so, about so and so. Because when we spoke that day, it was the interest was building a community. And if some information came to you, it may also come to me in a different manner. And if I don't share it, like somebody, I said, okay, there's an issue here. Well, from what I understood from the conversation, is not happy with 4 months delay. And she is saying, why are we waiting? So this is somebody who woke up in the morning in a WhatsApp group and says, you promised mentorship, and where is the mentorship? And all I've asked back in the same group, who promised what and when? But the person is making a serious allegation of leadership. That Mawere, you must cause mentorship to happen. And I've waited for you for 4 months, but she never communicated with me until today. And I've told her I can't do everything. If you want mentorship, reach out to many other people like Raymond to share just 30 minutes of your time about what you are about to share on building communities. That's big mentorship. Why I must be honorable, why I must be self-checking, why I must be self-interested, that I don't join a community so that others lead me where they are going. I join a community to fellowship with others, to know the people I don't, and you are giving a testimonial that even though I'm not a member, the guy sent me what he promised to send. And you now know about the Formula 1 issue. But it started from Koma Masimba.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the challenge we have. That's why he's saying, I have learned something. When we share in public, Then 2 weeks ago, it was Chieza who was alleged to have said something about me. And I said, bring her online so that we can sort this one out publicly. If I'm alleged to have harassed her sexually, then let her come and confirm that. So that we deal with this issue of women who have possessive husbands or possessive boyfriends. They say that platform, GC to C change. The other C is not community. It's called command sex.
What?
No, there are people who are so sick that they see something. How many people have been accused of things that they don't know? And another lady who just joined yesterday, she approached me 2 weeks ago. And he says, Mawere, I'm so angry with you. I said, why? You ran away from Zimbabwe. I said, oh, so you know where I ran away from? Yeah, I know you. And she went for about 5-10 minutes talking about me. And I said, do you know when I left Zimbabwe? She doesn't know. So how can I run away from something you don't know? Huh?
Oh, she had.
Oh, I've read it in the media. That's the truth. So I said, Mkua Masimba, bring her here. And she says, I'm sorry. I thought what I knew was the only truth. Isn't that mentorship?
It is.
Yeah. How many people who conclude about Raymond and I have not seen him for 10 years? And then I think the person I knew 10 years ago is the same person today. They don't know who you are. They don't care to know who you are and what you are doing. So when something affects the community building, somebody was saying here yesterday, I don't want to join. I've used 3. Saga, why should I join? Why do I need to be in a common platform? I can do it on my own. And somebody here says, Mawere is ZANU-PF project. Then you ask him, if I'm a project, tell me the factor of project. Does ZANU-PF as a stomach can create somebody? I can create Raymond. Raymond, you can tell your own story. Did the UK government create a story for you?
No.
But how many people believe that something or somebody favored you, took you to the UK, and you are not a willing party? And then whatever you're doing there is because of something.
That shows they don't know the person.
Yeah, some people may even call you that you are selling yourself for sex, so that you get contract. So that sickness can only be cured by public engagements. Yeah. And if you pledged something and something went wrong, all he wants to do is, Raymond, let's start the spirit that we started with. Talk about it. Because I don't know this. I was introduced to those people the same day you were there. I don't know these people. So I don't deserve privacy.
No,
I have no privilege.
The last time Masimba was online, I spoke to him, right? And I even called him afterwards. He was just too late. I was saying, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Hence, I'm saying he did not want to listen to what I wanted to tell him. That was last week.
Okay.
You understand? Yes, that's the reason why I said to him, I've got the message. I've sent him the message. I want to talk to you about it. He said, no, I don't want to talk about it. Just pray. Yes,
No.
he was on his life. That day,
Let's correct that.
Yes.
Let's
he was
call that
Lincoln.
Raymond. And secondly,
Mhm.
even about Professor Mtambara, do you think we have a shared understanding about what we are talking about between me and Nkuma Masimba?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. So, what would be your recommendation?
I think my recommendation, or anybody else who is on the platform, is for you to talk to Professor Mtambara first on your own and explain to him what Masimba is all about and what he's trying to
No,
achieve.
but can I substitute him, or we have to sort it out here among ourselves?
I think we can sort it out amongst ourselves.
Because if we can set out a foundation, then it means whoever comes in future, we don't have to talk about it again.
Mm.
What did I say? It's on video. Did he agree to come? The answer is no.
No.
So we can't even announce that he's coming to Nkuma Masimba. He wants to talk to me again. And if you knew he was live, you would kill me.
Mm.
Because he was quick to dismiss and try to talk about our project. He doesn't know that the project of C2C Nkuma Masimba is also part of it.
Exactly.
But he doesn't believe that. Ati benzi rofana kwenda kupi. Yeah. So benzi gari kuna mapenzi. So Mawere, you want me to associate with mapenzi? I got a PhD in robotics from Oxford University. I was a Rhodes Scholar. I was a deputy prime minister. Now Mawere, I could Madodi. You understand? So Mawere Ravadodi.
Awawiri tafata kupukosha mwari yangu yanga makambofamba mentorship. I think we are sister Vimbai. Muri kuona here the mentorship mabvunza kuti it's a very broad thing. Mentorship. Wone ana ata Mtambara wakamengwa mudala mawe. Are you learning something there? Ndino kiyango futi akamengwa mudala mawe kiyango Blafidza. Kufana bofunda Blafidza uya ndani atufita mpokere bedzi manje. Ndoti kazokuda mpokere bedzi.
I'm saying is we can coach Yangwa, we can call Kasukwere. They can give you their testimonials, but let's be organized. What Raymond is saying, what
Raymond achimterera, Nkuma Raymond makaterera Professor Mtambara chavari kuda kuna Mawere vanoda kubuildirwa community yanobuildirwa ndozvavari kuda chete, right? Mawere ari kupindira question achiti no takanotanga C2C kudhara saka it's already in progress. Then imagine Mawere agosangana Masimba achiti ndakatojoina C2C but ndiri kunyora bhuku rangu, but this book is a dedication to you Mawere, right? Ndezvandakafunda kwamuri saka bhuku rangu rapinda mu-C2C now. So whatever I'm doing, this is the dramatic side C2C in my own words. You see, in my own vision. So after to colleague yangu, but after manje, kani problem yanaka identify one. Level ya ari manje. No level ya pina na benzi, kani basa. Right? This Masimba kupega. But after katerera manje, Masimba ndakutowa basa kusinga ite C2C kwa. But asikuzizia manje. Sasa kwa uzodi benzi, but ngatokera kupi kusai kwa. But inini manje, chara bandipenga boss ndine ma fakes. Iwe ata asi kusira asana mkomareya yakatozigirwa stana pana na manga yakatozopaisa mashozi kuma Facebook ne C2C. You see ndakumpa ma fakes now. Saka ubenzi wako utara ubenzi ndokuti ubenzi wangu hapa. Yeah, you see now. Saka remember C2C haisi kubuild a bridge. We have to build. But
Nkuma Masimba, let's have a session maybe tomorrow or the day after. No, what do you suggest from what you've seen so far?
The first time yao mutungo conclusion yao zvabatawo zvadzidzawo mari yavo vakabhadhara kushanda here zvavanoda zviri kuitika here. Mukoma, it's your time now.
Oh, he's on mute, yeah?
Value.
Mukoma body mute. Check your system
Okay.
on mute.
No, yeah, okay, yeah, now he's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying, we are not going to overemphasize subscription. The main thing, what I understand, I will I'll bring value to value. So what I'm understanding here, I think Koma has a point. If we are saying we are like-minded people, yes, we are not saying we are closing out one. Everyone has his own value. But at this stage, I think we want to know each other first. Because if you bring Mumi, who is set in his ways, I was listening to conversation now, na Ras. You could tell it took almost an hour and they could not get each other. It pains me that we don't have that time. If we listen to each other, we learn from each other. I'm not saying I'm better than you, Masinda. No, differently, but I must hear you and you must hear me. But if I'm truly listening to you, the chance of G. And if this community is to go forward, but toss it to our pan from each other.
Okay, that's good. My brother, my answer to you, I have my own show, right? I'm writing a book and I'm willing to give you time to engage with me. I'm willing for that. So I'm inviting you to my show at any time. I've got time for you, my brother. We can talk. And for my answers, I'll be answering you based on what I learned from Mr. Mawere. So it means Mawere is going to watch our shows. Is he going to say, or he's going to say, parasita. So that's what I can do for you, my brother. Welcome to C2C.
Thank you.
So anyway, that's personal story again. But I'm willing to share with you. So I'm willing to engage with you. I'll give you all the time, my brother. So at your best time.
I need to talk to you, please.
Okay, baby.
Okay.
I'll put phone on mute. Go ahead, I'm listening.
All right. I think Gululeko, thank you. And I will buy any last words.
Not really, but maybe that, you know what, talking of communities at work, already today, I've met new 2 members again, brilliant people that I would have never met if not for C2C. There's my brother here in the UK, I'm in Blackpool. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't even have known that, you know, you are doing cryptocurrencies as well. Of which it brings us back to that topic where we say, you know what, we don't need one person to be the person who knows everything. We have different people who are doing different things, of which if we combine our efforts, we will learn from each other. We will learn from many other people. And then that way we have, like, you know, quite a big bank of information and ideas and things we can do, of which, and if we use that and channel it properly, we will go far as a people and as a community, which is what we are doing, and which brings back me to the topic where I always say, you know what, every day that I engage in C2C, I engage on these different shows that I go to, or different sessions, I am learning a lot. It's my pleasure knowing you, gentlemen, and thank you so much once again for this platform.
Thank you.
And then, Samite, are you there?
Oh, yes, and good afternoon, everyone. It's okay. Today I don't have anything to share. I just got here just now. I just woke up, so I'm just still catching up.
All right.
Yeah.
And Raymond, any parting words?
Oh no, let's continue with the vision. Let's continue with what we believe can happen, and let's take over and build community. Like you said, while also discussing, something came to my mind. Do you know? Just in closing, do you know the guy who founded the World Vision? He was
Yeah,
a missionary, Presley, Dr. Robert Presley, in 1947.
yeah.
He went to South Korea and China. I was reading about him actually. It's a funny thing that just came into my mind. And when he went there, people didn't understand. He was an American. He found the people who are poor in those countries, China and Korea. I think Korea was one of the poorest countries by then. That's in the late 47. And because of what he saw in Korea, the opportunity, he didn't use that as a pastor. Because remember, he was a church minister. He went back to his community and said, listen, I have a different vision now. My vision is called the World Vision. You can check what I just said, you guys, for you to understand. That's where World Vision was born in 1950. But it happened after the man went out of his comfort zone, out of his country of land of milk and honey, and he went to the poor country. What we are talking about here today, in the 20 years to come, in 50 years to come, when we are all gone, our children, our generation that follows, might benefit to say, listen, there was a guy called Masimba who was in a mental hospital, and people were laughing at him and we thought he was joking. But today, look how far this C2C has gone, because Masimba is part of it. So all I'm saying is it's a word of encouragement. Let's keep on putting the positive in this, and we do away with the negativity. We can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raymond. It's all these great institutions were built by people. Some were sick. Out of sickness, they discovered a cure. And some became very rich, and others were pointing fingers at them. Yet life is a big accident. Every day is an accident. The people you meet, you talk to, and what bridges an idea into a conversation, and what provokes somebody to do something. So if we have to build it, it's just storytelling. There is nobody who's got a better story of life to tell, because we live it, not because we want to write it. The more you try to control life, the less you control it.
Correct.
Life has its own way of unfolding. It doesn't require anyone to have a compass, a barometer, a litmus test. But if we just had a conversation among ourselves, forgetting who is following, then we already have the minimum quorum of Jesus. When two or more gather in his name, others will follow because you have chosen to gather.
There's agreement.
But don't gather for nothing.
Yeah.
Gather for something you believe in. If we believe that we are a divided society, let's celebrate our divisions so that we build bridges between people who can't talk to each other for one reason or another. They will talk to each other. Doesn't matter whether it's Masimba or whether anybody. Any of us can be that bridge. So if one of us is sick, the conversation proceeds. How do we rise above the individual who is like a grain in sand, just to understand that you walk on the same earth. And every step you make is a new step of life. Every second you consume is a new second. So nobody can lead you somewhere. You are the person who is blessed to have the choice to make, whether to reverse or to go forward. So if we assume we are all going forward, we must accept that none of us has got the magic touch to know what the next step is. There are many people who come here to distract like dogs, to bark at you and say, what is this all about? So that they sow seeds of confusion, seeds of doubt. Why would you pay something without a promise when life itself has no promise? Who is to promise you about yourself? Who are we waiting for? Gululeko, you're not waiting for somebody. You said, let me pay, and whatever it takes, I've written it off anyway. But I would rather be part of that something that I don't know than ask somebody to tell me what time it is, whether it's time for me to join or whether it's time for me to be a dog that barks. How many of course they are experts at barking, at finger pointing. So I hope when we go back, you listen carefully to what Mukoma Masimba is saying and what I am saying. And you may discover that we are not saying the same thing. And the first step is always the destination. If you make a journey of 1,000 miles and the first step is going the opposite of where you want, you must stop there and say, Masimba, let's workshop this. Let's talk about this. What do we want this go deeper? To go deeper on what? Then we agree. And when we agree, we go as soldiers so that none of us will need a general to be in the trenches. Because we are the fighters. It's not one person, a general, who has to fight a battle. So let us learn that a community is a relationship. It's give and take. It's a compromise. And when we have to compromise, it means we won't get 100%. We may lose viewers, but I would rather lose viewers standing on my feet than gain viewers on my knees, begging for people to follow me, begging for people to join. Let us allow those who don't want to join to say no. Even if I pledge, Raymond, you have no obligation to pay. Pay because it is you in the payment. It doesn't matter how much it is. be the value in the payment, because nobody will give you $30 for nothing. Yet we lose $30 every day, either for lunch, you can't account for it, and sometimes you can miss a lunch, you can miss a dinner, and you still be okay for tomorrow. But it's a choice you make. And there are people who tell you, don't lose your lunch for something you believe in, because it's Mawere's project. So hande kwa Mawere kune chiko, kuna Mawere. Hande kwa Jesu kune chiko, when Jesus is dead. So let's not go anywhere. Let me not tell somebody to go somewhere where I have been. That's mystery. But let me be the change that I want to see. If every day I talk C to C, I talk C to C. Because I believe in community building, that there is no problem that is bigger than people who are circling it. And if we build circles, networks, fraternities around a problem, that problem will be solved. So let's build a bigger tent that is inclusive, that does not have qualification, Raymond. Because the people you think must be in the community are the very people who am I to judge whether Mkoma Masimba is sick or not, when he can be judged by the content of his character, not by what he says or does? How many of us are excluded in conversation when we are the only people with the answer that's 1 cent to make $1, and we move around with 99 cents? Yet 1 cent can complete that. So I do hope that those who are watching, life is not complete without every one of us. If I was a creator, I don't know where to start. The sperm will never fertilize for my enemies. And for those I like, children will be born. But we have never experienced that rejection, where we are thrown outside because somebody anticipates or predicts. So Mkoa Masimba said, I need a bridge. And we said, C to C can be his bridge. If all of us pay $30, then we can show through Mkoa Masimba so that he can meet those who think they are majesties, those who think he's not worthy to talk to. But he can't do it alone. That's why we have to give up time to say, judge him by what he said, not by what somebody else says. Some will ask, who is he? Like you heard. What is he famous for? He's famous for insanity. Then that brings me to the final point. Mandela said it. He was in Bahamas at the Atlantis. He gets out of the hotel and people flock over to him to get autographs. So as he was signing, this little girl asked her mother, what is this old man famous for? The mother said, he was a prisoner and then he became president. So how can a prisoner be famous? So the mother was struggling to explain, who is that man? That people, she's never seen him, no TV, nothing. And then he suddenly got flashes and stopped signing. And then he walked over to the mother and took the girl from the mother. So he held her. Now she was closer to him. And says, what are you famous for, you old man? Then he says, I'm not famous. He says, how can you say you're not famous? What are these people looking for? He says, no, my name is Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Ah, so what are you famous for? He discovered that he had no answers. And he became tired. And then he took the girl back and went back to the hotel, reflecting on life, that he had never applied to be famous. But there he was, unable to explain why life can turn out to what it can become. Imagine those prison guards who were mean to him, only to live to see him being saluted, being celebrated. So are there lessons there to learn from Mandela?
Yes.
That I don't have to say what I am famous for. I have no obligation. I just to live my life. And what I believe in will attract more people than Mawere saying anything about me. Because if I have what Mandela had, there were many other prisoners who nobody could follow and want their signatures. But it was one of them, an ex-convict who became a president. Is there no cause to celebrate? So that's all we are saying. Let our works be the glue that brings people. But let us not ask people to come to Mandela to get autographs. So that's that's the show. And I'm going Zimbabwe, you want to close on your side because you agreed to be part of this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mawere. And to me, my parting words, I am Mukoma Masimba. I'm simply pulling my wagon. That means I'm living my life. So the benzi, the little one you have. Ngombotari right, ngombotano nyepa, achika doti hana, leo chitonzi one wapo. Right now, I'm just with my wife right now. Right? So, pano, because I booked or ndaka negotiate na Mr. Mawere to be part of these shows. This is Mawere show. This is not my show. But Mr. Mawere, in the common ground now is C2C. I'm also a member there. right? But ndiri member C2C, I'm writing my book. So what can I do for C2C? I said this book I will make sure content in book is going to be community building. That's what I'm doing for C2C. So I'm ready to meet Mtambara. Mtambara, because Mr. Mawere right now spoke highly of Mtambara on what he did on Mtambara. And again, I said, Mr. Mawere, I would love to meet this guy on your show, not my show. So Mr. Mawere called Mtambara. Here's my answer on that phone call. Mr. Mawere, number one, yes, I agree. Arthur Mtambara knows you. He answered the phone call. You did your greetings. Number two, you're already doing something together. It means you talk to Arthur Mtambara. You've showed me that you talk to Arthur Mtambara. Number three, you taught me about value. If Arthur Mtambara values you to trust, then Arthur Mtambara is going to say, okay, Mdara, what do you want me to do? But Arthur Mtambara does not have that trust value with you. You were trying to tell him what you know about me because I've been always with you. He does not know about me, right? So, pane trust value, yes, sir. That trust value, Mr. Mawere, it means to me right now, you don't have that trust with Arthur Mtambara. He only wants to do things. He only looks for you when he wants a favor. When you ask him something, this is your show. Because I asked you to call him at Tsika. But what do? I can't force him again. The next thing is to find a strategy now. Like what you said, you need to put order. Mr. Mawere, Pokre Benz, I'm the author, I'm the boss, I'm in charge. Your C2C members now, and I'm Komare. Maybe when they want to talk to Arthur, I don't know what they're going to do there. It's me on your show talking to Arthur Mtambara. Me is one. So I'm already in for this show. You asked it, do you think Masimba is ready? I'm ready. I don't know about other members. I, as in Koma Masimba, I'm ready. To mirror other watch. That's my answer there. Otherwise, I cannot get a passy. To pin a WhatsApp group, later meeting, I'll be wasting my time. I'm ready, Mr. Mawere, to meet Arthur Mtambara. I've got a lot that I want to learn from him by engaging with him. To me, I'll gain more value. Professor here. So otherwise, that's my parting shots here. I'm a brand. So your show is a brand on its own. So our relationship is value for value. That's my answer, my parting shots.
All right. I think we are there. Anything else?
Then Sabina, I don't pin last minute. Some go pin Sabina. Dinner Mr. Mawere, but I know this show was scheduled. I didn't want to bring confusion.
So let's have other shows. I think, and Ngululeko, you wanted to say something, yeah? So Ngululeko, I think I'd muted because there was some noise. Let me just unmute you. All right.
Okay. Brother Raymond, I'm new to this show, but as far as exchanging contacts is like, if I want to know something, are you free to talk off the show, or everything has to be conducted on this platform?
Okay, I think, yeah, okay.
You can answer that one.
The question is coming to you, Raymond, my brother. It's a direct question. It's for you, my brother Raymond. Another member is asking for your details, your contact details.
Oh yeah, no. We can exchange information. That's not a problem.
Okay, no, thank you.
That's the whole purpose.
We can exchange.
That's the whole purpose, is to know each other, to expand addresses, and because they say if you have 10 Jews, you build a synagogue, not for 10 people, but for each one will spread.
For the sake of the mentorship, may I put my number on the session, and then mozongonditumidzirawo like your names ndokuisai palist rachona. Is that okay?
Okay, no problem.
I'll send it to chat, and then you can just pick it up from there.
It's on the private chat, so you can see it there.
Okay.
All right.
Just row your full names so that for the record, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yeah. So Raymond, thank you for agreeing to be a part, and Ngoluleko, just for being able to identify a person just by talking. Then you are saying, I can learn something from somebody I don't know. And that's the spirit. That let us build temples, synagogues, and knowing that we are all mortal, we all die. And if we are dead, the show must go on. That the cause must live. And then we are dealing with, there are people who inspire us, and they all may come to see. Because we have agreed to use this platform to expose our diversity, not our sameness. We are different because that's what we should be. And you imagine we were all the same. Would that be desirable? Then somebody says, Mawere is a real gangster. His own perspective, so that history may record him as saying something about somebody, but not about himself or herself. Is it not tragic that we become experts in someone's problems, yet can't even talk about our own? So I thank you very much, and I hope that in the coming days we can continue to interrogate what we think is missing. And there's a lot that is missing. And there are a lot of people. So that's all I ask Mkulu Masimba. Make it easy for people to come where you are without being confused. And what is value for value? Let us dig deeper. What is the role from Kongo Masimba after his drama on social media with that white lady? So let us, yes, so there's a lot in life to worry about who is doing what with a white or black woman. Let us leave bedrooms to the people who live in them. Let us leave lips to kiss each other without condemning the minds that are behind the kisses. Let us stay in our lanes. There's a lot to do than worry about whom Mkulu Masimba is dating or not dating. I hope, Raymond, you won't be disturbed by Mkulu Masimba kissing in public when he can kiss a baboon in private.
Oh, yes.
So I hope the show is not about the person, but the principles and values that ought to unite us.
Mm.
And let us learn about love, about brotherhood of men that transcends the sovereignty of nation. That no nation can be above liking or disliking. That there is no immigration paper that calls you and asks you to like somebody before you become part of a bigger community. So I do hope that we all listen, and then we all build the temple that we want, the size we want. And just joining is one part of the problem. Keeping quiet about it is the biggest problem. That's what Martin Luther King called the greatest betrayal. That people who are silent on what matters undermine the very humanity that they want to celebrate. So silence is our biggest problem. So writing a book in public, that's the best book you can ever write. Because life itself is not silent. It's your touch. Just records what you've done in a continuous manner. If you call it a diary, it's your diary. In your own words, on your own time. Yet others give up time to share their own little experiences that only provoke others to share, so that together we have shared stories. So I hope that helps those who are looking for somebody to blame for YC2C may not be moving. And what does the $30 subscription cover? That's Rema Roberts. It may cover lunch that you choose not to take. It may cover things in future that you have to build yourself. You subscribe to shares, yet you have to work in the name of incorporate a company. Why have sex? What would be the benefit of having sex? But to have sex, you pay. Either it's prepaid or postpaid. But who has ever asked that question? What are you paying for? So I hope if you pay, then it's not yours. But if you put a seed to your own harvest, Rima, you have to be the author of the harvest. How can I join? Please let me know whether it's possible. Yes, it's possible. Alicia, you are joining yourself, because if you do nothing, you remain lonely, although a platform exists. How many people are lonely in a crowd? So you have to give character to your own creation. It doesn't mean paying is what is required. Okay, so as I was just talking to comment so that we are gone. Yes, there is no agenda. We didn't come here because we have an agenda. So there is no agenda. There was no script. So let's leave it there. There is no script. There was never meant to be a script. So life does not have an agenda. Otherwise, every day we'll be looking at an agenda. So I hope you relax, Hazel. Just go with the flow. Use your ears if you join voluntarily. If you are forced to join, please exit because I value freedom. And I hope you do so as well. Thank you very much.